I have a bunch of great hen of the woods here, and I'm going to show you how to trim them and cut them into small pieces to pickle, or cut them into pieces to saute or braise or steam or poach or roast or do whatever you want with them. So basically there's not going to be a ton of dirt per se on hen of the woods, but what you are going to have is the root here. This is going to have some dirt on it. So it's kind of tricky. It's like, where do I start to cut this thing up, and what's the best way to do it? What I like to do is start by trimming off any dirt. Now with the hens, a lot of times this dirt is going to be stuck on, and you want to check through the stem, because as you can see here, the dirt is actually inside and the mushroom has actually grown around the dirt. The dirt is inside of this. I've actually had customers break their teeth on rocks and pebbles that are inside of these mushrooms. So you want to check in the base and make sure that there isn't anything hiding in there, be it a slug or be it pebbles or rocks. Like I said, in here I have actually seen rocks inside of the mushrooms, because as the mushrooms grow, they kind of just envelop anything that is in their path. So the first thing I do is just kind of trim it off, get it nice and clean, and now what you can do is you can kind of break it. You want to break it into leaves. So you don't, when you have a beautiful mushroom like the hen of the woods that has this really unique shape, you don't just want to like chop it all up. That's going to just totally ruin the natural character of this beautiful mushroom. The only time that you would want to chop up a hen of the woods into little pieces is maybe if it's a little bit older. This one's still very young. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to separate this big one into leaves too. But these little ones, these little guys here, these are going to make the greatest pickled mushrooms that you have ever had. Their texture is just absolutely astounding. So with this guy here, you could actually cook this whole and serve it as the protein portion of a vegetarian entree. You could just sear this in a pan, and then you're going to want to add some liquid or some wine, maybe some garlic or shallot or some herbs, and then after you add the liquid and some salt, you want to put a lid on the pan, and it's going to be hard to cook these on high heat and caramelizing them and cooking them through at the same time, because by the time that the mushroom's cooked through, it's going to burn. So you need to start it off on high heat and then add some liquid, and I'll show you how to do that a little bit later. So this guy from here, we could cook this whole, but I want to pickle it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to see what sort of nice little leaves I can pick off of him. So here's one. Now I will pick, that will be a little piece of pickle right there. And I'm just going to separate it into these leaves, just like that. I'm just following the natural shape of the mushroom. And that is going to make the absolute coolest looking pickles that you have ever seen. So I just separate it into leaves. So these, then from here, obviously I'm going to pickle them. These could be sauteed and eaten just as they are, and these will cook a lot faster. So typically, this is how I clean hen of the woods. Like I said, if they are older, I will cut them into smaller pieces or make a duxelle, but that's usually only if they have bug damage. When you have these nice, beautiful young hens, you just want to have them just how they are, and you don't want to futz with them too much, because they really don't need a lot. They're a really curious and beautiful form of nature, and I don't like to do too much to them. And there you go.